Welcome back to another episode of PENNIES. This is episode 483. I hope you had a nice weekend, great day, and thank you for starting your day off. If you have, the notifications checked, then you will get notification Eastern Standard Time that my videos start at. Oh boy, excuse me. Start at 7 a.m. every morning, Eastern Standard Time, 7 days a week. Will I always be able to do seven? I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, this is nuts, man. Nobody does a video a day, um, long format version plus shorts. All right, 2024. We're looking for the double ear and or doubling on the reverse. Look at this. We got a die chip on the shield. Okay. Well, actually, I don't know if that's a die chip, a die bulge, or a. It doesn't look like a blister. I guess that's why I went with die chip on that. This is a nice little shiny one. Strike through? I don't think so. See, to me, these look like strike throughs, right? Especially this. That looks like a piece of something, and that one. But when you put it into, you have to put errors into the context of the whole coin. But when I see all these other types of pieces of damage there, and on the reverse, it makes me think that it's not a strike through. It makes me think it's post mint damage. I mean, it might very well. And look at this on the. But you never know. And the problem with not knowing is that you have to. You don't have to, but you don't want to. If you trick yourself on every time you see post mint damage, you're going to be calling everything a mint error. You know what I mean? And you don't want. You want to get rid of bad habits and calling everything up, thinking everything's a mint error. That's basically it. That's like the cardinal sin of penny roll hunting. Now, to put it to the side, like let's say you're new to penny roll hunting and you want to put. I have a lot of my newer pennies. Excuse me, a lot of the pennies that I found when I was first started doing penny roll hunting are in flips, and they're post mint damage. They're not even like if I ever review them, which I'm sure one day I will. 2024, we got a little grease on the bottom. No double ear. No doubling on the shield. Nice looking 2024 though. And our first copper. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if I look through my old the coins from my pennies from when I first started doing penny roll hunting, I will find a bunch of them with that I will know now are not errors. So I'm trying to pass that knowledge on to my audience because most of you out there, like 99% of you out there, don't know about penny roll, about coin roll hunting in general, penny roll hunting specifically. And 63, that's nice. and will think that a lot of the post mint damage that you find are coin errors when they're not. It's one of the reasons I put all of those. And this is another 2024. Yeah, I thought so. It's one of the reasons I put 2023, no extra V. I put all of the links below. If you're new to coin roll hunting, you should be clicking those links below and watching them. One of them is on the minting of coins. That's a very interesting, and you want to really learn all the different aspects of coins. You definitely want to learn how they're minted. That way you get a better understanding of the process, right? So if you understand that the dies are made are made by hubs, and also there's other mechanics, right? There's other machines in the mint, right? They also do electroplating, right, on the zincs, how the planchets are formed, the difference between a planchet and a blank. Nice grease strike on the bottom. You can see the VDB is almost gone. Oh yeah, you can see it on the reverse too. How coins are ejected and fed. How the older coins have the mint marks placed on them. How dies are polished after they receive die clashes. How the coins are shipped after they are made. Some mints, and also in the past, they used to just drop them down these holes. Put into bags. Bags were then dropped. So even some of the that really wouldn't be now think about that, right? So if it's damaged at the mint, it's mint damage. But if it's not damaged during the minting process, then it's not a minting error, but it still could be mint damage. Let me tell you something. This is the first time I've ever seen fingerprints like this. Now, some people get all caught up about fingerprints. Believe it or not, fingerprints, I don't even think that they take off they lower the grade, to be honest with you. Maybe at the very highest level, like 68, 69, and 70. But generally speaking, and that's the most I've never seen a coin like that. And what happens is, depending on how the electroplating is done and at what point it goes into circulation, some coins are just more susceptible to the oils because of how they're made. It's random, man. A lot of stuff is just random. 99.99% of the time, It doesn't matter if you touch the coin with your fingers, unless it's extremely valuable. You're not gonna affect it. I know a lot of people get hung up on touching coins with your fingers. It really doesn't matter unless they're valuable. But for penny roll hunting, and actually for most coin roll hunting, it really doesn't matter because they're circulated already. So, and they've been touched a million times, 1,000,001 times is not going to affect it. But if you purchased a coin that's an MS, that's in extremely good condition, yeah, you don't want to touch it with your fingers. But for penny roll hunting, you don't have to go out and get gloves to do your penny roll hunting. Unless they help you with the penny, and you want to keep your fingers clean, yeah, then that's fine. All right, so it's damaged right there. That's interesting, right? So they got damage, and then it pushed some of the metal forward. That's weird. So you have a. Oh, I see. Because of the misalignment, has the extra rim. Pretty cool looking. All right, here's a nice little 17p. Yeah, so I'll do a second penny roll. What I've been doing, again, I know that the what's that called? The algorithm, the analytics say that most people check out by 15, 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do is probably for a while anyway, unless something changes. Things change. They change slowly, but they do change. Is I will do the cherry picked rolls for the second video. And for those of you who do not know, a cherry picked roll is a roll that has been searched through and either sent back to the bank or donated to the channel. Oh, nice misaligned die. Oh, that's one of the better ones. That's one of the better misaligned dies, especially on the 82. That's nice. All right, let me pause the video. I'll be right back. So someone donated some penny rolls to the channel. They searched through, and what they did was they put the copper back in, but you know, um, I don't know. They did either they chose the ones for no floating roof. They chose the ones for the channel or whatever they did, but they did not. They did not get these rolls like this from the bank, right? The chance of you finding um, an all copper or 90 something percent copper penny roll from the bank is extremely rare and unlikely. And then to find more than one is even rarer. So I'm pretty sure these pennies from this penny roll, they're cherry picked, they're searched through. With that said, I have found on some of them some possible double dies and other coin errors, die clashes, and strike throughs and stuff like that. Oh, that's a beauty. That's a beauty. That's a nice. That's a nice penny. Oh man. Talking about driving me crazy. Why can't I just find one of these? See, but it's not a repunch mint mark. It's not a double die. See, the person when the person searched through their roll and they saw this, they put it to the side. They're like, "Oh, that's interesting looking." They put it to the side, and then when they either they looked through it again for a second time and they realized, "Oh yeah, it's not." See, all of these have anomalies. See in the top, that could be a double die. Oh, it also could be not a double die. It could be some movement of the and it's weak either way. So they put the coins to the side, and then they either look through them again. Or they just said, okay, these are the ones, that's another nice 1982. Or Denver. Or they just said, here, I'm going to send them out to Jesse. You see how almost every single one of these coins has something going on with them? See, this could be from a feeder error or an ejection error. But you don't know. So you put the coin to the side and then you say, oh, I'll look at it later. But the point is that the penny roll is searched through already. I'm relatively confident of that. So that's why I'm doing them for the second half of the video. For you diehards out there with me, who want to stay, you want some extra content. Wow, one side, look at that. That is odd. That is odd. One side was dark, and the other side was very, very light. Is it valuable? I don't think so. I don't think that gives value. Now, does that mean that there's not someone out there who won't give you a couple bucks for it? No, not at all. There's always somebody who will pay $1 for something, as a novelty. With the understanding that it doesn't have any extra value. You see that on top of the B, right? Post-mint damage. You see? Look at the O and the D. That's doubling. The question is it a double die? And that's what I'm saying. I know this is cherry picked. Wow. Okay. Hard to say. Hard to say. Is there a first and second strike there? It's hard to say. Even seeing doubling like this, that is so. It's so strong, right? That you can see it from a distance. It's hard to tell. How come it's not all over the place? How come it's just in the O and the D? Well, the G looks like it could be extra thick also. It's hard to tell. Now, that's one of the coins that I'll put into a flip. Now, the person who searched through the row originally came to the conclusion that it was um, mechanical doubling, and did not add it to their collection. And they said, forget it. Just like I do with most of my coins, and I just separate them by condition. Or they loaded it into the row on purpose, since to give me a little treat. Hey, look, let's see if Jess can notices that double die. So and they put a wheat cent in. Nice. Only worth about 10 cents. So as I started the video off with talking about the links below, there's another good link below, the Wexler. Is it Wexler? I think it's Wexler's about talking about double dies. That's a very good one. That's the one that talks about and people ask me all the time, "What do you mean about mechanic? What's mechanical doubling?" But you have to read. You have to be studying up on your error guides. You have to do that. So read the. That's a nice 64. See, a lot of times the 64s, a lot of them. I would almost say most of them. The letters are very close to the rim and smushed out because of the dye deterioration. Oh, maybe that's not on the Denvers though. That's on the Philadelphias. This is a Denver. But that's the way the 64 is supposed to look. Look how nice and clear. What a nice condition coin that is. The reverse, not so much, but the obverse is really nice looking. A lot of Denvers. So that's your homework. Your homework is to read. Definitely, you want to get familiar with the whole Wexler. They talk about true double dies, and that's good. And then Error Ref. I think I put a link to Error Ref also. That's a very good website for all the various types of errors. And you want to study up on those and anything you find. And they talk about a lot of non-errors too. You definitely want to get familiar with the non-errors. There's so many non-errors. You know that people take vice grips and they put various designs and pennies, and then they sell them off as errors. Meanwhile, they're basically counterfeit. Not counterfeit coins, but they counterfeit errors. And if you don't know, I became familiar with one that looks like a waffled coin. It looks like the waffle. It looks like the waffling from the mint, but it's not. Oh, this is almost like a mint condition coin. Oh wow, 74S. Let's look at the what the mintage is on that. That's a nice one. That one might be worth $2. 74S has a lot of them. 409 million. The proof there's under 3 million of them. 1975 has no S's. I never knew that. It has the proof S, but it does not have a business strike S. So that's a business strike S. Yeah, it has that little stain right there. I don't know if that'll come off with some mineral oil or not. Let me look at that S under the loop. Looks like it has a hard punch. Oh, it has a repunch mint mark. Pretty strong repunch mint mark. This is and this is probably a 63, 62, 63 with a nice RPM. I'll be honest with you, this might be a $10, $20 coin. Look at the edge. I wonder if it's cleaned. I don't think so. I don't think it's cleaned. Yeah, the S is repunched. I don't know if you can see it through. Probably can't see it through the camera. But on the inside, you can see the repunch on the inside. And look how deep. You see the bowl shape around it. That's how hard the mint mark is punched onto the die. That it created they hit it twice, pretty close. But on the inside, the S, you can see the extra S. That's yeah, it's a valuable coin. All right, well, thank you. It's a valuable coin in its condition. You understand? If it was dirty, you probably couldn't even see the repunch mint mark. But it's so clean and fresh that you can. All right. So share with me below in the comments. What have you been studying recently in your journeys and learnings about coins, coin errors, pennies, the minting process? Let me know in the comments below. Say, oh yeah, oh I clicked on the error ref. Whatever you've been doing. I read the 69S. Okay, with the floating roof. I have the mintage up already, so we could just go to 69S. This one does even more. Double die varieties have been found. That's what it says on Wexler. What a weird S. Look how skinny that S is. What an odd. Let me look at that and look how high it is also. It's way, it looks like it's in the wrong place. I mean, it's above the 9. So let's check out some other 16. Let me go to eBay and I'll put 1969S and see if what comes up. 1969S penny. And I want to see if it's that far up above the 9. I don't know. Now look at this one. All right, so here, look at where the S is on this penny, right? Look how high it is. It's above the 9, the bottom of the 9. And then I'll show you what a typical one looks like. Come on. Below the 9. Of course it belongs below the 9. You're not going to put it above the 9. Ah, and they show a picture. You see on the one that they show has a repunch mint mark. See on the inside the loop? You see that little line there? That's the repunch. But that's not the one you're going to get because that's just a stock. Look how high that S is. That is so odd, man. Does it make it worth money? I don't know. And it's a very skinny S. Very odd. All right, let's wrap this up. '81 Denver. See, it's all copper. It's loaded. These are so they threw those pennies in there for me, you know. Um, so I, you know, to make maybe to make to make my videos more interesting. You see how the letters are towards the rim? That's how most of the 64 Philadelphias are. No mint mark. Please click like and subscribe.